morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Sir Stephen Topham at the third at your service. Now we're going to be talking about the full details of the North Norfolk Railway or the North Western Railway Company as I know it of 2025. Now a lot of you want to know this program before it even gets released. Now a lot of you have to think positive on this when you drink your coffee or tea in the morning to understand the value of money is where it counts and the travel distance, which is what you need to consider of. The value of what they're offering you right now is really off the radar. You got to really clear your head for it. To understand the value of money is where it counts and the distance, right? What you got at the moment is like saying, yeah, well, it's a repeat scenario of everything every year. It's like a circle that's visually getting you wound up. So it's the same thing every year, every detail. The only difference is the value of the cash on their part and your expenses as well. You've got to think about that. And you've got to realise, okay, it's 5.5, but when you add it up as a round trip, makes it 11-mile trip, you have to be realistic. Right? You have to put your foot down. These are special events, they make the prices higher anyway, and they think they've got everything on a plate for you. I said, look, they try and announce it next year, but I'm giving you a head field advantage to think ahead before you go in with your horns next. Basically, you don't want to end up being circle-wise in your head, feel like it's the same pattern. It's going to get very boring for you, and then you end up with nothing. Right? So I'm trying to put the principles right in front of you, the understandings, the pros and the cons, before you even jump onto that platform now. This is the thing you've got to work around. The principles of full details of 2025 program of the North Norfolk Railway or the North Western Railway Company. You need to start saying, look, we looked into this a lot deeper than what you are. We have to prioritise. We have to look. We have to go on the web every year to keep tabs. Why? Let me explain something to you. As a customer and as a communityist, you have to understand things are repeating itself as a time loop. But this is no ordinary time loop. It's going out for every year. And I know a lot of the community are starting to get bored. Oh, bit like that. Right, it's reality. Right, it's fact. Because you're just going up and down the line. Right, they got a level crossing. They could go to Sheringham, to Hull, to Cromer. They could go into Cromer, right into Hull, and do it vice versa. But what's stopping you? Right, this is the fact. This is the thing you look into. Right, it's the travel, the distance, and the price. You do not override what the company wants. The North Norfolk Railway, as it's normally called as a company, because there's no organisation no more. Right, you have to be realistic. What are they going to throw out this time? Right? The realistic point of view on this is knowing what you're aiming for and what you're getting out of it as a price for a short distance travel. Right? This is the singlest problem that the North Norfolk Railway screws up on. They don't think before they speak or action wise. It's like a friend told me a long time ago, a private connection of mine said they always say they action wise before the consequences. Right? I'm not laughing about this. This is all dead realistic. Right, when they all want the North Norfolk Railway, the 2025 program, they say it on the internet to get your attention, right? When you look at the principles of it, then you're going to say it's just the same thing every year, right? It's not going to change. It's their way of saying money, that's it, go. Right, in the end of the day, you got to realise what are they aiming for? What their actual goals are? What are their achievements are going to be? You have to get ahead of them now. You have to be one step ahead of them before they give out the details exactly. Because you want to be one step ahead to make sure that you're on the same page as like myself, not them, basically. You need to be on the same page as me to be able to understand what's unfolded in front of you. This is for the global weight. This is not just for the United States or Australia or the United Kingdom. It's the full whack. When people think this is all a joke, I said, no, it isn't. In any angle, in any direction. So when it unfolds in front of you, the full details of the North Norfolk Railway, for every year we have this problem. Right, and then this is where the brainwashing technique comes in. They say, oh, we're doing this, we're doing that, and that's what they're throwing at you. But you gotta catch the ball and throw it back at them. You can't let them throw the balls at you and say, oh, we got this cheaper, we got this deal, we got that. And they bribery doesn't get them nowhere, for starters. They have to be honest on the distance. If they can't see the distance, then they are either blind as a bat, stupidity, and being dishonest. Right, when you got dishonesty on that playing field of theirs, right, they say, oh, we could do this, we could do that better. I said, I don't think so. Right, this is a comment that they actually quoted on you guys, and I thought, okay, right, they want you to be caught in the middle of it. Right, I said, this is bribery from them, quoted by the North Norfolk Railway themselves. I said, wait till this has come up. Right, this is what they actually stating. What you see below is what they said to you, directly. Right? You have to be realistic now, where what is the same thing every year, and the prices are just going up, 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 until you end up realising you can't afford it, right? I need you to prioritise, more than it's just a logical fact. The full details of the 2025 programme has already been released. They're just lying through your teeth. They're just not being honest with you. They're being completely dishonest. Right, when you look and realise what shit, here we go, you need to realise your needs, not their wants. What they need is totally different to what you need. Right, it's a camouflage trick right now, where they're not being honest with you, they're being dishonest with you, the prices are like majorly too high. I said, look, the principles of getting around this scenario is like saying the prices are so enormously high. When they're not doing Christmas or special events, they got back down to about 50, 60 quid, 70 quid round about that area price. I said, yeah, well, that's how expensive they are. But if you multiply it by 12 plus the special events, you're paying nearly 1,000 quid above. I said, listen to me. I'm being honest with you. They're not. They're just saying this and this and this for you and saying this is what they're aiming at. I said, look what you see, because you're seeing what you're getting is the same result. I said, there's ways around this where you can actually save money in the process, but you need to work around what you're getting. It's all the same thing every year. I said, there's no, improvements. There's no, the health and safety on their part is a little bit risky. And that's why I said the track safety test does do well for their employees and volunteers and so forth. I get that, but that's not the problem here. The problem is it's the value of the cost, the distance, and especially the way they're acting towards you. Their body language is out of order. Don't get me wrong. They don't like the truth as much as I like to give it. Right? I'd rather you get on that platform with ease, with a cheaper price for the regulars, which is true. It's like living near the area. Community is a big thing in this world. There's 8 billion people that want to fight against the North Norfolk Railway because they say, why bother go to attraction when it used to be an organisation, not a company, right? They really want to push it down to the level where the Norfolk Railway is just basically a deserted railway line. Right? That's what they're trying to aim, but they're not going to get it. Right? So you have to be realistic. What they say, full details, blah blah blah, and it goes down the line. And then I said, yeah, well that's what they're saying. That's what they're quoting, because they're saying this is what they're quoting, and they don't give a damn about you because they just end up saying, yeah, well they're gonna have to. They've got some time to think this really well over. Right? When January starts, bing, the 2025 time program or timetable throughout the whole year is basically the same. What you need to realise, the dates, the years, the months they go through is the same scenario. This is why I said, why did the full details of the NNR 2025 program all in truth? I'd rather be honest with you and say, do you really want to pay out 60 or 70 quid or 50 to 60 quid just for a family set? No. Usually it would be like 25 quid or less, depending if it's one person to two. I said it doubles up every time, and they just don't give a damn about you. This is why I said the biggest key element of all of this. I said to you, look what's been written, and look the way they respond to you, because their attitude is also on the line for them, and their respect for you is not even that respectful. They've been just probably saying, oh, full details of our 2025 program will be announced soon. I said I've just announced it already. Quickly like that, because I know their minds. I have to think on their level to beat their out odds. I said if you want respect, right, you have to know the pros, the cons, and the needs and the wants. You can't just go in for saying that, because by saying that, you just bribing people, say, oh, we do this, we do this, and do this. I said, look, the half the time they say it's the same prices every year. When it comes to Christmas, and you paying out nearly 300 quid for 8 people, I said that's rip off. It is not right, because that's just they don't acknowledge the food or the water. They just acknowledge the fact that it's the attraction of the year. Right? I said, look, when you look at their timetable right now, it's giving you an insider of what it is. Right? But then your head has to click and circulate and work out, okay, 2025 is coming up. Are they going to do something different? The answer will always be a no, because you have to be one step ahead of them, just a little bit. Then you're all playing board because you're on the same playing field as me. When I know something that's unfolding so much in truth, they don't like the truth anyway, but they got to realize, oh shit, their mouths are like say, we give you this, we give you that, blah blah blah, and I said, yeah, well, look at what they try to gain out of you. It's a bit like a bribery act, basically. And when you see all that bribery, you say the full details of the 2025 program will be announced soon. It's already been announced. The only problem is they're just waiting for the right time to dish it out for you. Right? They're claiming to be what you will call, oh, we need you, or we want your money, or we want you to travel, we want you to do this. I said it's not their wants, it's different to what your needs are in general, because your needs, your wants, and the pros and the cons of this. I said the pros on that railway line is knowing where the cons are first. The cons are where the actual problem is. Right, when you think about that railway, you can't acknowledge to jump on it straight away, because they might charge you more. They might charge you more for food. They might charge you more for water. They do everything under the radar until they get what they need or want. I say, for their example, I said it's all there in bloody black and white, excuse my French. But it adds up the value. That where's the money coming from? Or what? Well, why do they charge so much? Why do they give this out? I said if they did a pie chart of the barcode of the year throughout the whole year and all of that, it would be like nearly saying sugar. We overdrawn. That's why they're bloody pushing it, because they're overdrawn somewhere. It's like saying to you, as a businessman that I should be, I'm telling you, don't go on it. Why? Because the value of money is where it counts. But you need the right price for the right distance, the food and the water and everything else. But when you think about 50, 60 quid just for a family of set of 4 or 5 at max, then you will end up saving up, yeah, you're spending a little bit more on food and water on top. It's not just the travel. So when it all goes down to full details of the 2025 programme, you're going to realise it's the same as last year, or this year, as they say. And it'll be the same the previous year, and the previous year. Why? So that gets the customers to be pissed off. It's not just a joke here. This is reality of what's unfolding in front of you, and you know it's the truth. You know it's reality. I said, look, paying attention around this and looking at the pros and the cons before you spend that money, because that money is what they're trying to bribe you for now. They don't give a damn. This is where the respect is going. Let it fly. Like Duck said to me very some time ago, he's still telling the whole community right now, passing the buck. Why? Because he doesn't want you to fall for the trap. Right? When you fall for that trap, the first thing is the protocol will be put in place to say, look, you can't just go on it because it's the same program every year. And it's like getting boring and it's getting sadder and people get sick and tired, and the people end up saying, where's the good atmosphere that we had previously beforehand? The community will learn the truth for themselves and realise I was telling the truth and I've been honest with you. I said there's a time loop of everything that's unfolded before. People got sick and tired of paying the same price all the time for the same routine every year, and that bounces backwards and forth, and people lose respect. Right? The Norfolk Railway lost respect. It's not the community. The community will work it out and realise, yeah, he's telling the truth. Because I would never be dishonest with you. The full details of the NNR for 2025 is the same program you get every year. It's just a common camouflage trick which they use you and brainwash you. If you could get out of that system and realise they just use you and abuse you, and then you realise why we come back, keep fighting, trying to tell you the full details of the Norfolk Railway of 2025, or the North Western Railway Company program itself, is a camouflage trick to say it's the same thing every year. Because when they always say, oh, this is what we do, this is what we're doing, and this is what we're doing today, and what we do yesterday, it doesn't matter. The porters and the guards should realise that and leave the bloody building, excuse my French, but they won't leave. Why? Because they know I'm telling the truth and being honest, and I'm just giving out. I said it's the same thing every year. Right now, because they haven't changed anything, they haven't motivated anything, they haven't improved on their performance, on their behaviour and trust and respect, which they haven't learned yet, because they always go down the bottom of the chain. That's their con. Why? Because they just say same program every year. Basically, they're just giving you the dates for the same scenario, and they're basically saying, this is what we're doing, this is what you get. Right? And when you look at that, don't look at what they're actually giving you, look at the cost, look at the distance, and look at the value of money they're actually asking from you. By the time you realise it's the same program every year, because they don't change it. They can't improve on it, and they can't do nothing about it because they all screwed up. It's like I said, with the full details of the NNR 2025 programme, it's basically the same as what they've done previously beforehand after 2019, 20, and 21, 22, and then when the whole programme started to repeat itself constantly, repeating the same pattern, then people start using common sense to realise this is the same thing every year. Right? People are going to snap and realise we can't keep doing this because every year it's the same book, it's the same thing all the time, and they don't even give a damn anymore. That's why I said at this moment the 2025 program that has been announced, it's already been announced. It's just been that they're lying to you. They're being deceitful against you. I said, look, if you realise what they're actually doing for you for this year, or what they've done for you for this year, will be the same for you next year. This is why it screws everybody up. So I'm catching them out now and saying, you throw the ball in my court, I got it. Right? So when I establish you to realise they're just using you, abusing you, the money factor, the distance travel, everything else, like I stated previously beforehand, it costs for £300 to £200 is a King's Cross to Hull all the way through. That's £200. That's with food and water. Because they would never leave you with a long distance travel like that to be that. But with a 5 mile trip, which is what they moan about right now, I said, yeah, work it out. It adds up. But this is the thing about what they do for you on a regular yearly basis. I said it's the same thing every year since they changed. Not, what they take, what you got on the plate right now is what you're gonna get next year, and that's the same old, same old, same old. And then you're ending up with the wrong problem. Then you got the same problem all the time. It's like saying, this is boring. You go on the platform and you know it's the same thing. Don't get me wrong. And they don't learn the value of money, the distance and the cost, and they don't even realise what this is not a Norfolk Railway we used to know, or that I used to know quite well, or the North Western Railway Company as I know it. And I actually focus on and say, look, have you realised this is a full circle repeating itself all the time? No, because people don't pick up on it straight away. So when they do pick up on it straight away, then they will just go click, click, click. They're like switched on their brains. The community will work it out and say common sense needed. Common sense needed. Why? Because if you use common sense, you get the reality factor of it, and it gets down to the point. And it's already there. The full details of the 2025 program is already there, set in motion before they even jump off the cliff. So it's like the Norfolk Railway management saying we want to die, basically, because they're telling you, they're being realistic with you. And I said the full details of the Norfolk Railways 25 program for next year, it's already been announced. They're just waiting for the right timing call. I said it's the same thing every year, in every angle, in every direction. So don't expect them to give you the one thing that's actually going to be the same thing every year. You have to look at the coordinates to say it's the same thing every year. This is why it's the same timetable, the same special events, same everything, and then it gets boring and boring and boring, and people will have to use their common sense to realise it's all the same all the time, and they will get bored, because it's the same thing every year. Right? When it all goes down in black and white, you can't argue with that because that's true, it's realistic, it's fact, and it's about to come unfolded. And why? Because I've given you a heads up to say, look, what you see is what you're getting, but at the same time, you've got to be realistic on the full details of the Norfolk Railways 2025 programme. It's the same as what they did previously beforehand. So you need to be one step ahead of them before they announce it. So you have to be a little bit further ahead to get out the trap, to get out the money factor, the special events factor, the whole lot, and you'll end up saving more money throughout the whole year, and you'll end up with more money than what they offer you. Because at the end of the day, they're just bribing you and saying, yeah, we do this, we do this, we do this, this is what they do, throwing the book at you. Basically, I'm not. I'm just being honest with you. Straight through the teeth. And that's the angle. So what happens when it unfolds in front of you? You can't lie. I'm not being deceitful or dishonest or anything. When the Norfolk Railway's got a lot to hide. So when you think about it, their programme for next year is the same as what happened this year. That's the only difference. It's a year after year after year. It's always the same. It's always the same. That's why I catch them out. The only thing that goes up is their prices. And when the prices go up, then the customers get pissed off. And that's why the whole community gets pissed off. Then it hits 8 billion people around the globe. Then it hits them. Bang! So when you want something on a plate that's realistic, fact, and truth, always know that this is reality of it. This is what caused the Norfolk Railway to go, you know, same material, same stuff every year, and it doesn't change. And it just all it changes is a date and a day. The years are basically nearly the same. Same events, same everything, and you'll get bored. You don't. I'm being honest with you because it's reality. It's fact. It's logic, and you gotta get your common sense up here to realise it's the same thing every year. And Norfolk Railway will just they will just end up crying wolf because they don't know why. They can't put the dots together to realise, oh shit. You know, by the time they screwed up, they already screwed up. So work it out backwards. The screw up is something to do with them. And that's the fact. And that's why everybody loses out. Because everybody doesn't realise that this is just basically the same as last year and the year before and the next year onwards. So work it out. It's going to be the same continuous pattern and it will drive you crazy. And that's the reason why it makes your head not think straight to realise it's reality after all in every angle. So when it all unfolds to you, the full details of the Norfolk Railway 2025 programme has already been announced, already been revealed. They're just waiting for the perfect time to tell you. But I'm already one step ahead of them because it's the same scenario, same routine, same timetables, different dates, different year. That's all it is. So if you really want the actual facts to this, just ask yourself a very big question. Why is it repeating itself every year? It just makes people get bored, careless, and then people will start to realise why. Because then it aims at the community and the people are not interested all the time. They will go on there and realise it's a major mess up because it's not focused properly to realise where did we go wrong. That's where the Norfolk Railway management are screwed up in their heads because they can't work it out. In their heads, they've gone, what? Yeah, they're screwed up. So you need to go backwards to go forwards. Work out. There's a little thing I told you in Duck's story that tells the whole damn truth, the reason why we're supposed to help you out, not the other way round. In every angle.